All right, Jack Yates family, Facebook family, we live right here at Louis Cafeteria and Lady Lines, and I got with me Amie Johnson. Amie is the president of PTO?
Yes.
Okay, explain to everybody on Facebook, especially the Jack Yates people, what is PTO and what are we doing with PTO?
Okay. PTO is Parent-Teacher Organization. Parent-Teacher Organization, which includes the parents, the teachers, staff, the community, and also the students, to work together for the benefit or the betterment of, to build up Jack Yates High School.
Now, I noticed that you into a lot of events that's going on with Principal Davis, and you're around the students a lot over there at Jack Yates, and you're very involved with the students at Jack Yates. Now, I noticed that we had another scholarship that PTO was giving, and they ran it together in, which I thought was real nice. They ran it in together with Jack Yates class of 1968. Now, will this thing, as far as this scholarship, that y'all do give scholarships, right?
Yes, we do.
To the students?
Yes.
Okay. Now, will we continue to stand out by ourselves on PTO when it comes to giving scholarship, or will we get in with other classes to give out a scholarship? Because a lot of people saying they got too many doggone scholarships. One class gets scholarship, one class get, why can't they all be like the Fabulous 50s and one generation give a scholarship?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we will still have the PTO scholarship, but we will also start having a ceremony, just like the Fabulous 50s have a ceremony.
Okay.
We'll start having a ceremony to where all that are giving scholarships, we can have that ceremony together.
Exactly.
And in that way, all the scholarships can be given and awarded basically pretty much about the same time. I know the Fabulous 50s have theirs a little later than everyone else.
Yeah, because the Fabulous 50s is having theirs this coming Tuesday night.
Right, right. So, but the goal is really to bring the community and this, the school and everyone that's affiliated with the school, Yates community, all together as one. So we can work together as one, because we'll be more powerful if we work together.
Okay, now, Amie, what class did you finish out of Yates at?
I finished in 1989.
Okay, so you came in the 80s.
Yes.
Now, what seems to me, well, talking to Mr. Robert Jones, which is Vice President of the Fabulous 50s, it seemed like to me, if we can just get one decade, so I know it's the last time we came to a Lady Lines breakfast.
Yes.
That we gave, and I noticed how nice you organized it. Everybody from the 80s came together, all the ladies from the 80s came together, all the ladies from the 70s came together, all the ladies from the 90s.
Yes.
10 years of a generation gap.
Yes.
There's what would seem like would be real nice if we can get something like that, like I think you started, which is real beautiful, the wonderful 60s, sensational 60s that you had.
Yes.
And which is good if we can get other people in the 60s to join in the way we get it on the 50s, because right now our Fabulous 50, we got over 500 members.
Yes, yes. And the goal is for the decades that we built up and put on Facebook for those groups.
Right.
And to build outside of those groups, because everyone is not on Facebook.
Right. So we got emails?
So we have emails. We're building up and getting more emails. We have enough to start, so we're getting leaders basically for those groups so that they can lead. Because
to me, being around all of the Yates alumni from the 50s on up to, I would say probably till the integration of the 68 would be the last generation that I could really grasp. But that's why having you around is so valuable, because you are the future of what Jack Yates, you are laying down the future of Jack Yates and the young people. See, my generation, we laid it down, but then when you lay something down, you got to always have somebody to keep laying it down.
Right, and that's why it's so important for us to reach the students now and let the students know exactly what's going on, what's ahead of them, and how we can keep this legacy going. So that's why it's important to get them involved as well.
Yeah, because see,
even the new graduates.
And a lot of Yates alumni out there, they barely seldom come to the school. They barely seldom get involved with any activities. with Jack Yates, but they still use Jack Yates' name.
Yes.
And that's not right, you know. But their complaint is we don't know what the hell's going on. So our thing here on Facebook and social media is to get them aware of what's going on. So give them an option. If they want to come in,
yes,
they can. If they don't, then that's fine too. But at least give them an option to know what is going on, because after all, that is their school too.
Right, and then also, and that's why the decades are so extremely important, because the decades will be smaller groups of alumni as a whole, and then that way the young people that's younger than me can still meet, still do some things they like to do as their decades, not just their classes, but as decades. So it just makes it even better.
And this is what I would like to do, that we are already trying to do on Facebook and social media, is to bring these classes, well, the decades, you know, just like you say, the 80s. You know, if we can get somebody out of the 70s, if you can get the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s together, trust me, I can get the 60s and the 50s together.
Okay, and we even working on the 10s, even when they come straight out, just so they'll know that we have an alumni presence, alumni association. We're just not alumni individually, but as a whole, and how we can represent our school. So then that way we can pass it on. It's important for us to pass it on.
Exactly.
And if we don't get them involved now, we actually can go through the same thing. History can repeat itself where we are or where we've been. Okay,
and this is why it's so important. Me and part of the social media is to be able to bring these 60s and the 50s together, so they can lay down this history for these young people, like you're trying to, that you're touching.
Yes.
You know, so you can have a foundation to know what to tell them about. And this is why my generation of the 60s got to get involved. The 50s already got involved. I got Miss Maxine out of the 30s. She got involved.
Yes, she is.
So I know if a lady in 1935 can get involved, it ain't no excuse for nobody in the 60s and the 70s to get involved. You ain't that busy. It wasn't that busy to understand when you went through Jack Yates to get your diploma. Now all of a sudden you done moved out of 3rd Ward and you don't care about Jack Yates, but you still want to carry Jack Yates' name? No, that's not fair. Somebody needs to get involved with these schools and make themselves visible towards you if they want to carry Jack Yates' name. Now, because if you're carrying Jack Yates' name and you're not giving nothing to Jack Yates, you actually stealing. You stealing identity, because you using Reverend Jack Yates and that school name to raise money or to give events, and ain't none of the money coming to the school.
Yes,
well,
and we do have a lot of good people that have been raising money for years and giving back. Some wonderful people. So, and we have an event coming up soon, which is the alumni picnic that Mother Renethia Watson, what she actually has, and it's a wonderful thing, and she gives it all to the school.
Okay,
and that's
is that the picnic that they have every year?
Yes, it's the picnic.
Okay, that's the class
every year
of
at the beginning.
1965. That's a DeVita Porter and them and they class.
No, actually, Renethia Watson, she actually graduated in 1987.
Okay, so therefore.
And that's what we do the school supply drive as well.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay. So therefore, the class of 1987, which is part of the 80s
well,
generation.
she just does it as alumni reunion. It's a reunion picnic.
And that's what we're trying to do, what I would think. Texas A&M, UT, all these big colleges, they ain't got but one alumni. How in the hell can Jack Yates with a high school got 6 or 7 different alumni? It don't make sense.
Well, and it was based off of your class, number one. Then you have your decades, and then you have your other groups if they're social groups or something. So I don't think it's anything wrong with it. It's just that we should be able to, still be able to come together up under one umbrella, and that's the reason for forming the Jack Yates National Alumni Association. Just the attempt basically to bring everyone together. So you can still have your own identity, your own, like we have the breakfast, women's breakfast, men's breakfast, Fabulous 50s, Elite 80s. So even though they're the separate groups for alumni, we still come together all as one. And that's one thing that I love even about Mr. Branch. He still gives me information from starting the men's breakfast to starting the women's breakfast, and contacts or someone from the Fabulous 50s, things that they shared, class of 68 things that they made. So I can say yes, we love our class, and we actually speak about our class because I will shout out 89 in a moment. But I think of the whole greater than just the part.
Exactly.
And that's what that's the whole point and goal of us coming together.
And that's what
building.
And this is the reason why we're doing this interview. We just about ready to wrap it up and get into the Jack Yates Gala. And what's her name again? The lady.
Deborah.